How's it going, YouTube? Coming to you today with another video, and today, guys, what to bring to you is my brand new Tri-Brigade list. There's a ton of theory in this, and I'm very excited to share it with you, because there's even a brand new tech card that just came out in Battles of Chaos that went way under the radar, and so we're going to have a lot of fun with that and explain why I think it's going to be so good, and we're also bringing back an old favorite, so I hope that you're ready for that. We're going to be going over my list, my theory, cards that would switch in and out, and just a lot of the growing pains I had with the deck and trying to figure out the most optimal build, so I hope that you are excited for that. So I do want to mention, though, real fast, that my 12-hour stream, instead of being at noon, it's going to be at 2 p.m. EST on March 13th. I hope that you're excited for that as well. We're going to be playing Valorant, Apex, Yu-Gi-Oh!, remote dueling. It's going to be a wonderful time, and I'm very excited to see it happen. It's one of those things where I love hanging out with my community and just being able to chat and just kind of play the game for how it was meant, just like with a lot of friends and just enjoying what you're doing. So I'm so excited to see everyone, and I hope to see you all there. So we all know too that I'm having a giveaway, and if you want to enter, you can subscribe, follow my Twitter at GG__YGO. Comment on this video, because we're gonna do like the random comment picker here, but there is another prize that we're potentially giving away. So the first one is going to be my IDS core. I'm very excited to give this away because I love giving people the opportunity to actually be able to play the game, because this game does get very expensive. So being able to do cool giveaways, I'm very excited. I also hope that whoever wins this really enjoys the Italian of the Invocation and the Alistairs. I just think it's really cool to own foreign cards. I think it's really nice. So especially with this deck, it just looks very pretty. So I hope that you enjoy that. But if we hit 1,000 followers on Twitter by the 13th of March, again, my Twitter is right here. It's Twitter, GG__YGO. Go over there and follow. We're like 300 followers away, because if we hit that by the 13th, I'm giving away a Starlight Asa. So it's right here too. It's Starlight Asa. I hope that you're excited for this one. And this is a little bet that I made with Twitter. If we can hit 1,000 followers by the 13th, I'll give that away too. The same fashion I'm giving away the IDS core. So I hope that you're excited, and we'll be giving that away hopefully soon. So just to kind of jump into what we got for you today. Clear New World. This is, it has the world in it. It's just like Small World. It has another like search-esque effect by getting rid of another card. I think this card is really cool. And now the way this card works is you have to blow up a card on your board, like destroy a monster that you control, and then you summon one from your deck that is a lower original level, and then it has to be a different type and attribute. So my head was going crazy, like, all right, how could we abuse this card? And 10 seconds later, you know what came in my head? Baboon. So Baboon is a really interesting card, and this got abused back in Zoo format. Like, absolutely cracked card. So when Baboon is summoned, normal or special, right? This card allows you to draw and then put one back. So if you draw like your DPE bricks or what have you, you can put them back. So what I really like about this card is that if it's destroyed, you can summon 2 from your deck. So this is really insane with Nuclear World, because you can summon a 2 or a 1, and then you also get double Baboon. So I think that this is really special, because I immediately saw a deck that could just abuse this. The Nuclear World does negate the monster that it summons, but if you're linking it away, it doesn't really matter. Let me show you what I mean by that. All right, and we're back. So I'm actually going to read this for you just so you get the literal card text. It says, target one face-up monster you control, destroy it, special summon one monster from your deck in defense with a different original type attribute whose level is lower than the monster's original level, but negate its effects. Really, really nice card here. I really like it. But what are we doing with it? So let's just go step by step here. We're going to go ahead and summon the Baboon, and then use the Baboon effect, and then you're going to go ahead here and draw, and then you're just going to put back the card, and because this is just like showing you what we're doing here. So then you're going to go Nuclear World, and then you're going to go ahead and blow up your Baboon, summon Nerval, which is pretty insane, because then you can summon out 2 more Baboon, and who likes the protected Tri-Brigade combo? I know I do. So you can summon, after you go draw, put back, right? You can go ahead and summon out your Gossip Shadow, then make Link Haribo and search Karas. So I think this is really nice here because you have so many opportunities to just extend. Especially because you're protected under Gossip. You got to look at 3 cards at the top of your deck. You're already playing DPE because you're playing the Tri-DPE build unless you're playing the pure variant. I think that this combo alone has a lot of potential in the game, and it has a lot of different avenues to look at too. Like, even if you're playing like Cyber Dragon, right, and then you have the opportunity to like blow up your Bob-o-Boon if you're playing that, and summon like the Hers from the deck too. So there's a lot of different ways that you can go about this. So let's head back over to the slides and show you exactly why I think this has a lot of potential. All right, now that we're back, I want to show you the fact that you can actually just not even need the Bob-o-Boon to make this card worthwhile. Because if you normal summon Kit and you attempt Kit effect, right, and then your opponent goes ahead and they like Valor, Imperm, negate it, right, then you can go ahead and use Nuclear World to blow up your Kit, and then you can summon Nerval from the deck. And then you get the Kit effect in the grave to go ahead and dump as well too, which is also pretty cool, and you get a lot of free value there. Being able to go ahead and dump another Nerval from deck, add the Karas, and be able to extend further. So you do have Almirage 2 to essentially do this as well, but instead of getting the Almirage on board, you'll still have like the Nerval. So there's a lot of very cool application behind this, and a lot of very cool things that you can still do with Nuclear World that I think have a lot of very cool future uses. And we're just going to see more and more of it as more people try to innovate with this card. So moving forward off of that though, we do have a current list. So the number one thing that I've said for the longest of time is if you have a deck that's just full of 1-card starters, right, you need to be maxing out as many hand traps as possible because those decks have the most utility spots, and that will usually in this format do you very, very well, especially because it's 2 different sides of the coin right now, right? You need your Ashes, you need your Ogres for all the Brave decks, but you also need your Valors, your Imperms for the base decks. So you kind of need both hand traps, like both sides of them, which makes it really tough to decide which ones you want to play. So if you're playing those 1-card starter decks, you have the best of all worlds where you can play just every single copy, right? In this build particularly, we're playing the 3 Bob-o-Boon, you're playing the 3 Nuclear World. I like these a lot. Again, it gives the deck a lot of options. It gives it a little bit more of a fresh feeling. But not only that, but you also have the innovation of having the DP in the list as it already stands, because the Tri-DPE list allows you to go ahead and pop your Bear Brum and then get the Revolt anyways, and then you're also going to have your DPE. What I really like about this build is the fact that, let's say that you open up combo, you open up your Bob-o-Boon, and you're like, all right, my Bob-o-Boon's not really doing anything right now. It's not netting me any value. Why am I playing this card? Well, you're also playing DPE. So the DPE alone, once you get your board established, even if you randomly top deck like your Bob-o-Boon, right? This is something where if you already have the DPE in play, you can go ahead and summon out that Bob-o-Boon, pop it with DPE, and then get more bodies on board to go for another big play if you need to. So that's one thing that I really do value with that. And even in the deck alone right now, if you look, we're playing like 3 Ash, the 3 Imperms, so that's 6. We're playing 10 between Ogre, Valor, and then we have the 3 Gamma. 13 is the pretty optimal ratio right now for just hand traps. You really want to be playing upwards of 13 if you can. Again, decks with a lot of utility, you'll see this number. Decks with a limited space, you'll usually see between 6 and 8. It's usually like 3 Ash, 3 Imperm, and 2 Ogre. That's typically like the standard, but now you really have to start thinking about like Valor as well, because again, all the base decks that are running around, you have to be very careful about that. In this deck alone too, one of the biggest things that I see people just really arguing about is usually 1 or 2 Shurag. I still think that the second one's really important because it does come up and it's something that you do want to play. But Shurag's also a dark, so I really think that it's very beneficial to you as well to maybe even cut one of them and play a dark. Because that card alone, if you summon the Omen up top and you banish a card, you can then use that Omen and another card to make the Dark Charmer, and then you can go ahead and reborn from your opponent's graveyard, and then you get to search from the Omen as well. So it just kind of leads into a very big play from your access code even. And I really like that option a lot, and that's something that you have to decide if you want to do. There's a lot of really real targets to summon out of your opponent's graveyard, especially if they have an Anaconda in their graveyard and you haven't gotten to your plays with DPE yet. You can go ahead and use that opportunity to link off your Omen, summon the Dark Charmer, get back their Anaconda, and then you can go ahead and use that to go ahead and summon a DP, especially if you already have access to a Revolt, because at that point you just have the ability to set a Revolt behind the DPE, and that's a pretty hard board to crack for many decks, especially because the Omen gets around targeting, which is another reason why it's just so good. Another reason why I feel like Tri-Brigade really hasn't been that big of a contender right now is because there are so many hand traps, but we've also seen people just kind of stray away from playing things like Cross Out. They've also played a little less on the hand trap side of things. I think that the second we start seeing the list play a lot more hand traps and start shutting down the bigger combos, I think this deck really does see a resurgence, because even like the Doom Eagle being on board and being able to basically DD Crow-esque effect on the graveyard is really big, especially against like the PK deck. And that's something where I feel like this deck is going to slowly see its way back into the meta. I think that it has a really good shot with the bird card still, but I feel like it just hadn't really been innovated enough because everyone's really focused on like based right now. But I do think that this has the most potential out of any deck right now that just kind of got knocked off the top, but is still there, because you have to realize like this deck is just really versatile in any format, and there's so many different ways you can run it, right? Like if you don't want to play like the Bababoon in the clear world, and this list right here, I would just cut the 3 Bababoon and play 3 of the Rescue Cat, and then instead of the world, I would just play Cross Out. And this is one of the only decks that you can really get away with running Cross Out, because that card alone, since you're playing so many hand traps, like it doesn't matter what your opponent has, like you have the answer to it. And it's even cool though, because a lot of decks are playing Fusion Destiny, so like you can also just cross out Fusion Destiny, you know, which is pretty cool. Always love that one. But I feel like there's only 2 decks that you can run Cross Out on, and that's Prank Kids and Tri-Brigade, because of the utility spots. But I do really like this list so far. I'm really interested to hear what you have to say about the combo, what you think about it, how you think that it could be innovated further in other decks that you could see that being used in. I currently think that in this type of a build that has a lot of potential and could really do well. So I hope that you enjoyed this list today. I think that it has a lot of potential. Then again, if you have a question that you'd like to ask me or anything about the list directly, or any kind of like general help about your deck, definitely feel free to PM me on Discord, because there's a lot of different things out there that like people just need like quick thoughts on or quick questions, and I'll definitely answer those for you when I can. On my Twitch and my Twitter, definitely go ahead and follow those as well. The March 13th is going to hold the 12-hour stream, so I'm definitely excited to see all you there. And then last but not least, if you want a one-on-one coaching session, definitely feel free to go over to my Metafy page. Go ahead, check that out. There's a lot of different opportunities for you to be able to learn through different avenues. So I hope that you are excited for that, and all the links in the description below. I will see you all in the next video, and I hope that you all have a wonderful night. Thank you all so much.